introduce my name here, and today we are recording. We're going to see a reaction. We're not showing each other's face. I'm here with my friend. We're not going to say names. She's embarrassed. First time being on YouTube. So we're going to react to the odd1sout. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. I support him. I subscribe. I like his video. Go support him. I like him. Okay, ready?
In their life should work in a fast food or retail job. Not to improve their work ethic or anything, but so that everyone knows what it's like to have that kind of job. They wouldn't work in fast food their whole lives, maybe just for 6 months, just so they get a feel for it. So with that, let's talk about the time when I worked in fast food. I used to work at a very small local sandwich shop. I don't know if any of you guys heard of it. It's called Subway. Our spokesperson was in the news recently.
So what do you think, Subway? Is that just...
It just kind of copies Subway. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, they're just trying to make fun of it. Well, the guy on the news did get arrested for,
Recently, I don't know if you guys look at the news. Did you hear he got beat up in jail? I kind of want to meet the person who beat up Jared more than Jared. Not in person. We wouldn't meet in person, obviously. But, he would be behind bars, and I would just look at the guy who beat up my spokesperson. How many people get to say that they beat up a fast food icon who is also a pedophile? Only one, and it's that guy. Okay, but seriously, guys, working at Subway was probably one of the most easiest jobs out there. I don't know why I'm about to complain about it to you guys. We got free cookies. And you know the comic with the Subways in hell? I was actually working at Subway when I made that comic. I just think it adds sort of a little bit of value to it. You see, the owners, who were husband and wife, can you believe it, of the Subway I worked at, owned 2 stores. One of the Subway stores was in a Walmart on an Indian reservation, because we have those in Arizona, and the other Subway was the Subway I worked at. And since the Walmart store was always busy, the owners would spend 99% of their time at that store. So I didn't really have a boss.
Okay, I've already seen this video, but 90%. So they spend the 10% there. So, what do they do at the other place? Do they just say, oh yeah, I'm the man,
most of the time. On the off chance the owners did show up, they would just pick up some food and then they would make sure I was making sandwiches the right way. And every time I made a sandwich in front of them, they would always find something wrong with it, without fail. You put on too many olives. Do you know, according to the Subway formula, you're only supposed to put on 8 olives on a foot long? 8! One for every other bite. That's just ridiculous. Can you imagine someone just counting out 8 olives? Nobody does that. I usually worked the closing shift, and at the end of the night, we would turn the alarm, and we have 60 seconds to get out of the store. But one time I had the opening shift, so I unlocked the door to get in with my key, and the alarm went beep, beep.
Wow, realistic noise of the year. Wow, let's give it a round of applause. Come on.
Come on, Meaton.
He doesn't want to be here.
Yeah, I think he's
just laying on the couch like the most interesting cat in the world. Also, at the end of the video, guys, I got it.
All the time when I was closing. So I go to the little control panel and I type in the code and nothing happens. The beeping is still there and the clock is still ticking down. So I go, okay, I'm going to press each button very carefully.
Why did you just cut?
Each button makes a beep.
Sorry, guys.
Beep, beep.
1 second.
Nothing still happens. So I go, up.
Okay.
Okay, guys, sorry. Dog's barking.
Okay, I'm going to make sure to press each button very carefully.
How?
And I start thinking.
Why?
How can his...
Okay.
Did they change the passcode without telling me? Well, this is the only passcode I know, so I'm just going to try it again. And I press each button.
Why don't you just call the manager like you did in the...
Beep. Beep.
Where's the numbers?
It goes quiet. And then the alarm goes off. I still had 20 seconds left. But I guess when you get it wrong 3 times, it automatically assumes you're a burglar. So while the alarm is going off, I look on the contact sheet for the owner's cell phone number. I step outside, I call him, and he doesn't pick up. So I go back inside, find the number for the other Subway store. They open an hour before we do. Someone picks up with their stupid voice. Oh, thank you for calling Subway. I'm blah, 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 blah. How may I help you? And I go, hey, is Mike there? It's not his real name, guys, don't worry. And they go, just a minute. Yeah, sure, I have all the time in the world. The cops might be on their way, but take your time. So, Mike picks up. Yellow. Hey, Mike.
So, okay, first let's look at the guy's eyes. Dumb and okay, sure, got all the time in the world, even though the cops are on my way. What?
Why would you want an employee to get arrested? Like,
Just trying to get the alarm and just sentenced to jail and gets to meet their the owner of the restaurant.
you could get sued.
Yeah, that's true.
This is James. What's the passcode for the alarm? Who is this? It's James. What's the passcode? What are you doing there, James? Why aren't you answering the question? I have the opening shift. Is the alarm going off? Yeah, no one told me the new code. Yeah, we changed it. It's the last 4 digits of your social security number. Oh, okay, thanks, Mike. I don't know my social security number, so I finally get the alarm off. No one showed up, thankfully. Which I actually don't know if that...
Why wouldn't he know his social security number? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, the thing is that he's 16 for crying out loud when this thing came out. He's like 20 right now. So let's unpause it.
It's a good thing or not, now that I say it out loud. We did have a store manager who would make the schedule and sometimes tell us, hey, can you guys do a better job at your job? But other than that, she was cool. She watches my videos and so do her little brothers. They're big fans. Shout out to Ivan and Andy. Those are the brothers. So get this, at Subway, you only work with one other person. Just you and them in an empty Subway
really
for 5
awkward.
hours. I mean, we weren't empty all the time. Okay. And when you're not making sandwiches, you have other stuff to do, like
That
stocking.
explains why every time I go to Subway, I only see 2 people and I don't see anyone else.
Well, I see people in the background,
Yeah.
but they're making sandwiches.
Yeah, so, this is back when he was, 16. Yeah. Oh, grab Dorito. What? Well, those are clearly not nacho cheese.
Ooh, I want some nachos.
The chips, or we had stuff to do. But okay, we did watch a lot of Netflix and do homework, so I mean, that other person you worked with would make or break your entire shift. It wasn't the annoying customers. I kind of got used to annoying customers. So I worked with a lot of crappy people. And I also worked with a lot of people who I would probably never become friends with except in a work setting. You see, you gotta understand the type of people who got jobs at Subway. Potheads. Most of them are potheads. And some of them are really cool. I'm just going to go over a couple of the characters that I worked with. There was Tyler. I freaking love this guy. He smoked a lot of weed. He actually taught me what vaping was, and he got...
He didn't. It's just funny how it said he did smoke weed. Okay, just before you unpause, how he's just potheads.
Bad employee, man.
He did. I heard that when Subway back then actually only had 3 or 4 people, an average of every week. And I thought that was just a lie, but when I looked it up, it was true on Google. It had all these proof and stuff that Subway was kind of sucky back then. So I see why they watch Netflix.
into Clash of Clans. I actually mentioned him and his girlfriend in my Riddles video. I don't know if I ever told him that. And of course, I have to mention Corey. He was cool. We watched How to Get Away with Murder on Netflix, and I've also hung out with him
that
outside of
show's
work.
kinda
What
cool.
him and Tyler had in common is that they would actually do their job, which you gotta appreciate. Then there was this guy. Get this, who was also named Jared, and he was fat.
Jared's
I know,
really
right?
fat.
He's like Jared.
Okay,
Marvel,
sorry,
and that's the only thing he would talk about. I can
Marvel
say these
sucks.
things. He doesn't watch my videos.
I
There
like
was Sarah.
Marvel.
She was cool. She made me
I
a
like it,
purple.
though.
And her boyfriend
I
Jay. He talked about chakras and third eyes. He was
I'll look
interesting.
that
And
up.
also, there's Anthony. He's cool. What's up, Anthony? For the 100,000 sprinkles video, I actually went back to Subway to use their scale because I knew they had one. And we counted 500 sprinkles again just to be more accurate for the 100,000. And Anthony helped me count instead of working. I mean, at least he got paid minimum wage for it. So 2 more stories before I go. One time, Jared asked me to take out this pile of trash, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just put this pile
Why
of
would
trash
you
in
do
the
it,
dumpster.
Daddy?
And as I was taking it out, I saw that there was a chip poster in the
Sorry, I just
pile.
had to say
And I
that.
thought, this is too cool to throw away. I'm going to keep it. So I took it home with me, and then
funny.
the
It's like
next day
when
when
we
I
get
went
10
in,
million
people were saying,
subscribers,
oh,
yes,
where's
it
the
just
chip
starts
poster?
going down.
We can't find the chip poster. We haven't seen it anywhere. And I'm thinking, I have the poster. I decided not to tell anyone that I had the poster. It's still hanging up in my room. Sorry, boss, if you're finding out about this now. Okay, and then the other story, I was working with a manager, and we were just making sandwiches like usual. And I noticed that when we toasted a sandwich, it would burn the paper a little on the edges. That probably shouldn't be happening. So then a customer asks for just bacon toasted. And the boss lady puts some bacon on paper, and then puts it in the toaster. And we don't have a setting for just bacon. So then when she opens the toaster, there was a fire on the bacon. So then she starts to whack it with the
Have you
little
ever
metal
had
tray
fried
thing,
bacon?
but all she ended up doing was fanning the flames,
No.
making the fire
No.
bigger. You got this, right? Then I went in the back and I got the fire extinguisher and I actually used it. I single-handedly saved that Subway. Wait, what have I done? Is it okay if the bacon's a little crispy and has nitrogen and carbon dioxide stuff on it? Wow, I didn't even mention a single bad customer experience. Well, I don't want the video to be too long. I should make a part 2. I'm gonna make a
Okay,
part
guys,
2
see
and it's
ya.
just gonna be
Well, see you
stories
in the
about
next
annoying
video, which is
customers that
gonna
I had to
come
deal
up
with.
in,
And if anyone I
few
used to work with
seconds.
is watching,
Yeah,
and
see
I
you
didn't
guys.
mention